The Theory of Natural Education, a presentation by Christy McKee. Jean Rousseau said that everything is as good as it comes from the hands of the maker of the world, but degenerates once it gets in the hands of man. Rousseau was born in 1712 and died in 1778. He was a philosopher, a social and political theorist, a writer, a musician, and a botanist. He was the curator of many theories. However, his most prevalent theory is the natural education theory. Rousseau's natural education theory stems from his early childhood education. He believed that children should be their own guides to education rather than societal expectations. Rousseau's theory stated that education came from three sources: nature, things, and man. He said that these three sources, working together, were necessary to be considered well educated. These sources of education hold many aspects within Rousseau's theory. Nature is a source that is independent from man. Things depend on a man to a limited extent, and man is the only source that a person has actual control over. The overall idea that Rousseau believed was that nature determines the course for the cultivation of education for children. Rousseau's natural education theory means that children should rely on inclinations rather than habits. It argues that habits are ineffective and constrain certain natural practices. Rousseau believed that children should be given the liberty with their education to become the master of oneself. Children should only follow natural inclinations to be capable of observing natural habits. Rousseau uses self-esteem as an example. He deemed it as good and useful when related to ourselves, but can become either good or bad in the societal applications we make of it. Natural inclination helps strengthen and extends education in children as they grow in sense and intelligence. There were a lot of societal and nature conflicts during Rousseau's time. It seemed the natural education theory was meant that an individual must decide between making a man or making a citizen. He believed that children are not yet capable of reason. This means that they cannot understand or employ their rationality. Rousseau stated that reasoning must be an end, not a means when it comes to education. When relating all of this to a classroom setting, Rousseau recommended for early childhood education should only be about avoiding vices, not virtues. He claimed that when it came to thinking, children did very well when it was in their obvious interest, at least up to the age of 12. The concept of not teaching virtues is not meant to entail that a child should lack all morals. That through this concept, children will learn to be hardworking, courageous, and stable. Rousseau's concepts of natural education were based on his early childhood, in which he had the liberty to learn things at his own volition up to the age of 12, when he felt that he had came to a better understanding of reasoning. The idea of using the natural education theory in classrooms is that children are free of direction and given the liberty to experience things as they are. It's within this theory that children are able to learn more about relying on natural inclinations rather than habits created based on societal norms. Children should not be constrained or have to conform to their learning. And that by the age of 12, children will be at a place where they are open to gaining more skills and concepts needed as an adult. Thank you. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop a comment.